Okay. All right.
Oh my God. We're out. Hello?
Oh, Chandler, that was a fucking gunshot. That was a gunshot.
What was?
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there.
Some encounters in the wild start off quiet and normal until they don't. In one forest, a spirit box named something before they found its grave, followed by violent hits on their van. In another, a handmade doll vanished, then returned after they left. Coincidence or something in the dark? On May 14th, 2026, the YouTube channel Jasco Vlogs posted a video covering another remote camping trip and paranormal exploration in the northeastern United States. This time, Jasco and his friend Chris drove their camper van into a forest known locally as Death Hollow, a place linked to stories of satanic ceremonies, numerous murders and disappearances dating back more than 100 years. Even workers at a nearby pizza shop told them entering the area was a bad idea. They decided to go anyway.
Our craziest camping trip yet. So we brought out the camper van and we're out in this forest that locals call Death Hollow. It's a pretty damn horrifying location. I've already been here a couple of nights ago with my friend Ben. The first time I came here was actually on Friday the 13th. And it was so disturbing, so horrifying that we had to leave by 11 p.m. That is a record of how early we left a haunted location or just a forest in general. I begged my friend Chris for a second chance because I wanted to really try and stay here the night. We brought the camper. We figured we're gonna try to give it our best go.
Less than 10 minutes after walking into the forest, Chris suddenly stopped and pointed at something beside the path. A grave marker was partially buried in the ground, with a name still visible on the stone. The person had died only a few years before. What made the find even more unusual was that their spirit box had already generated the same name twice before they ever came across the marker. Neither of them knew it existed.
Whatever. Wrong. Okay. I tried.
Yo, brother.
You see something?
Deceased.
It just said deceased.
I mean, I don't know if this is what it looks like, kind of.
What am I? Oh, it says something right there. Hold on. Peace.
I have not.
There's no fucking way.
Wait.
No.
Hold on, I'm pausing this. Ben? Is this someone's grave? Wait, why? We're on like a trail, bro.
No, there's no way. No, like you said, there's no way.
Ben?
Maybe it's like a marker.
Ben, come closer. May 6th to February 24th, 1988 to 2021.
Okay.
Oh my God. Why is this in the ground though?
Okay. It could be like, maybe someone died here in this trail and this is like a marker.
Could be.
And then maybe, I don't know, the makeshift cross someone put there as like a...
Dude, I'm sorry, my heart's pounding out of my chest right now. We were just talking about the cemetery. There's no way I think anyone is buried here, obviously. This is a trail.
Right.
You know, unless something bad happened on this trail. Is there a name? Hold on. Is this just another rock? Okay.
I was gonna say, I thought it was a piece maybe of it.
Oh no, this is big thing. There's flowers on here. Ben, there's a name.
What is it?
I can't see it. Hold on.
What is that?
What? Ben?
What?
There's a heart. Hold
What's
on.
the name?
My fingers are... Whoa. It says Lauren, and then in parentheses it says Lily, and then the last name starts with an H, but I can't see. Yeah, the rest is like faded.
It's something, either an animal or something.
Lily, are you here with us? Look at that though. It's not disrespectful if we're just trying to, no?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, girl.
Deceased girl, okay.
Wait. Okay, so 1988 to 2021. Bro, that's so fucking recent. I can't math right now.
I don't understand.
Oh, it's me neither, honestly, at this point. 12 plus 21 is 33. 33. The name is carved into that.
It is, yes. It's way too much to...
Overdose.
Ben, what's behind you? What is behind you right now? That sounds like something just stepped right behind you.
I felt that, Ben.
Oh my God.
Okay, now we're just jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally what I'm known for.
Maybe... Did it say stop that?
Stop them.
Correct.
Holy shit, okay.
And the coincidence left them visibly unsettled. Later, after returning to the van, they started reading local stories and legends connected to the forest. That was when the atmosphere seemed to shift. As they continued talking, something appeared to respond from outside. A loud, heavy blow struck directly above them on the roof of the van. Both men froze, then it happened again, even louder this time, hitting the window. They could not explain what might have been making contact with the van from outside.
The luring dolls. In the heart of Death Hollow, abandoned toys and dolls can be found scattered amongst the underbrush. According to the... Okay, maybe I didn't like this story.
What the hell was that?
Ben? I don't know, it'd be that guy, but it literally sounds like someone's like walking on top of the van. There's no way.
The door's locked.
They are now. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Should we?
No, I don't know. Okay, we did it. We did it. We're open. We're on.
Hello?
Oh, shit.
Bro, it sounded like somebody just hit this, like right here.
No, yeah, I heard it.
Trying to see if there's any signs of footsteps or anything, footprints, sorry.
Farther into the woods that night, they discovered clothing hanging from the limbs of a fallen tree. Nearby was a bag resting on the ground. Inside were family photographs with no names written on the back and no clear reason they had been left behind. Standing in the darkness with pictures of strangers in his hands, Jasko struggled to understand what they had found. By then, they had already been hearing screams somewhere in the forest.
See? Wait.
It is denim.
It is denim, right?
That's the most squarely folded pair of pants I've ever seen.
Photos.
I
Hell no.
think we need to get going.
Bro. Photos. Oh, what the hell? Look in there. What is that?
I don't know. All I hear is the dogs that are coming after us.
Oh my god.
What do you think that goes to, bro? Is this something we can take to the Vam's house?
Yeah, I'm not... Whoa. Chris?
We should probably go into those dogs are not far. Well, don't tell.
I'll show you these.
The hell?
Look at that. I'm gonna blur this next page. This is a little personal.
Oh my god, dude.
Guys, we are deep in the forest. We heard scream. There's clothes hanging from the branches of a fallen tree, and we find pictures of a family. Wait. Maybe there's a date on the back of the photos?
Might be.
Oh! Bro?
You don't.
I'm gonna just show this to you off screen.
Oh my, dude. That is insane.
Hold on. Bro, I'm sick to my stomach right now. There's no date on these photos. Look at this one, for example. Nothing on the back.
Nothing.
Listen, I'm gonna...
It's gotta be old.
What else is in this bag? Those coyotes are getting close, aren't they?
Yes. I don't know. Bring it if you want. We can always throw it out the
Do I
window.
want to? You know what? Maybe, bro, we could
You don't
figure...
want to litter in the forest, right? Or is that supposed to be left here for a reason?
Something, we could call this in, if anything, and we could just leave it in their hands. Be like,
Well,
hey,
let's go
listen.
through it all and make sure for it.
Right now?
In the van.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with the coyotes out here.
I don't think it's anything nice. Do you just want to see the tombstone quick? It's right here.
If it's not far, dude, I'm not trying to get eaten alive tonight. The dogs are literally coming up.
Probationers.
Probationers? What does that even mean? It had to have been like right here somewhere.
I don't know if I want to walk this far right now.
It's right there. But you're right. After this, I promise you we'll go home. Or not go home, but to a campsite. I just really want your opinion on this.
Then the spirit box produced 2 words that made the situation feel even more unsettling. They had already located several grave markers, and the device continued producing strange words that seemed to reflect the fear building around them. The longer they remained there, the less comfortable the place felt. Eventually, the combination of the graves, the sounds, and the unexplained messages drove them back toward the van.
Oh my god.
Look.
Smell.
May 6th to February 21st. Bro,
away.
1988,
Let's walk away. Let's listen to it.
2021.
Right?
Let's get the fuck out of
That's
here.
fucking weird.
Okay,
What is that?
I will keep. Just cut this way, I don't even want to fucking... Dude, I don't know, should we bring this with us? Like what?
I want to see those pictures. I want to actually look at them and see what, like, if there's anything there.
Okay.
You don't have to. But...
No, you're 100% right. Dude, the keys, like what could...
What could that go to?
As they were finally getting ready to sleep, another noise came from the van door. It sounded as if something outside was attempting to get in. Jasko looked through the window and saw what appeared to be a full shadow figure standing beside the van.
Did you hear that?
Is that what I think it was? Someone trying to get in the van right now?
What the f? What the f? What the f? What the f? No, 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 no. Yo, let's get the f out of here.
Let's start driving, huh? Please. We must go.
I gotta move all this. I gotta move all this. Yo, yo, what was that? What was that?
Who's that?
Yo, I just seen something out there.
Within seconds, they started the vehicle and left Death Hollow in the darkness. As they drove away, they glanced behind them and noticed a light in the distance. For a moment, it looked as though someone could have been following them. Then the light vanished. That is the difficult part of spending the night somewhere unfamiliar. You never truly know what is already outside once the lights are gone.
My heart is like beating out of my fucking chest. Bro, I'm telling you, I seen something when I looked out the window. It was like a full-on shadow figure, bro. Oh, can I see this for a second?
gotta be
I'm
there.
telling you, dude, it is so scary out here. Like, this is all you see for miles and miles. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize how you're sitting. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Whoa! Did you see that? Did you see that?
No, I'm sitting backwards. How the
so-
fuck am I supposed to see it?
Bro, there was... Hold on. There,
there a car up there?
that reflector right there, no, that's a reflector. Something just passed in front of it, walked in front of it, on God, on 2 feet.
You know what? I think I like seeing right this way. I'm just gonna look out the back window. Oh, light. There's a light back there. Yeah, look in your mirror. Oh, where did it go?
Wait.
Wait, what the fuck? That was so weird. It looked like someone was like going towards us, like following us. And now it's gone.
Okay, listen guys, I'm sorry that it's gonna end like this. I can't take this anymore. I don't care. We tried our best. My second time,
What?
I'm just gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys next time. I literally, before I even fucking, I'm gonna lose my mind, Chris. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh.
What?
One possible explanation is that forests can distort almost everything after dark. Sounds echo between trees, shadows take unusual shapes, and small movements can seem much larger when your nerves are already on edge. But when several strange events happen one after another, it becomes harder to dismiss the feeling that something out there wanted them to leave. Was Death Hollow simply feeding their fear, or did they get out just before something worse took place? She stepped into the swamp, searching for evidence of something unexplained. But before the night ended, the threat she could see became nearly as disturbing as the one she could not. On May 2nd, 2026, the creator behind Lisa's Escapades, an American outdoor research channel centered on wilderness exploration and possible cryptid encounters, entered a dense area of cypress swamp within Green Swamp, Florida. Her investigations often rely on audio equipment and long-term monitoring to document signs that may be connected to Sasquatch activity, and she described this location as a promising area for that type of research. From the start, there were indications that animals had recently been active nearby. One of the first things she found was a feeding site where a raccoon had eaten out the inside of an orange. As she pushed deeper into territory she had never explored before, the landscape became increasingly difficult to navigate. The swamp floor turned less stable beneath her boots, while large cypress stumps crowded the route, making travel narrower, slower, and more physically challenging.
I just thought I heard something. I hear people. That's really weird. I hear some people talking. At least I thought I did. Huh. Oh, I do hear somebody. Look at the size of that tree. Somebody's up here. I hope it ain't somebody that's gonna hurt me. Oh! I think...
At one point, voices were heard somewhere nearby. They were later identified as two other researchers collecting equipment close to the river. That accounted for the voices, but it also confirmed that this isolated part of the swamp was being examined by more than one team at the same time. Farther into the swamp,
were those sticks there when you guys came through earlier? Just one of them was?
Last time we were here, there was just the one. Now there's two.
Because this was, I wanted to take it. It's really straight.
Is it down in the ground? Oh no. Hikers probably. Maybe I'll use it. Yeah, I'll use it and then leave it. It's a nice stick. Man, there's a lot of cypress stumps out here. That looks like an accident waiting to happen. Look at them all. You trip over one of those, you'll know it. There's trails all going through here. What was that, a gator? That area over there I think is pretty big. This ground.
She discovered an abandoned fishing camp and a hunting blind. The site appeared to have been used years earlier, but despite being vacant, it still carried the feeling of a place that had never been completely abandoned. The tension increased when a large alligator appeared near her pack, reminding her that the swamp itself presented real danger.
Thought I just saw some eye shine over here, but I don't see it now. So this is what my fairy lights look like in my truck at nighttime. You see I got everything closed except for the... Yeah, pretty comfortable. And I made this like wedge to go under my head, and now my back doesn't hurt, so I'm happy. There's a big old gator right there. That's his eyes and his nose.
Regardless of whatever else might be there. Later, a second large alligator emerged near the camp. Some of the activity around the area now had a clear explanation, but not all of it. The modified structures, the remote surroundings, and the recurring sensation of being watched created a strange blend of natural threats and details that still felt unanswered. Swamps can intensify that kind of feeling. Sound does not always move in a straight path through dense trees, water, and uneven terrain, causing voices or movement to seem closer or farther away than they actually are. In a place like that, even ordinary wildlife can feel unusual when you cannot clearly tell where it is coming from. By the end, the most unsettling part was not any single event, but the way everything continued building on itself. The voices had a reasonable explanation, the alligators were real, and the old camp had likely stood there for years. But when a place keeps giving you reasons to feel observed, how can you tell which fear belongs to the swamp itself and which one does not? On a day in the Scottish Highlands, Gary and Ameki from travel, with Gary and Ameki headed out for a routine evening run. The video was uploaded on March 2nd, 2023. As the sun dropped lower in the sky, they heard what sounded like unusual voices carrying through the trees. They stopped, switched on their torch, and saw dozens of mannequins and dolls staring back at them from the forest. Some were attached to trees. Others had been placed on ladders. One had red and black hair, while another lay face down on the ground.
We're just running down this track. Said we'd go for a run, and we just heard some voices. Amika was like, "What's that noise?" Wasn't you?
Yeah.
So we just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Whoa.
Look at that one. That one's got red and black hair.
That is weird, isn't it? Look at them, they're everywhere. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Oh, yeah, that's creepy.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there.
Human-shaped figures can feel unsettling because they appear almost alive, but not completely. In a quiet forest, that feeling becomes even stronger, making every motionless figure seem like someone watching from the darkness. Gary and Ameki continued deeper and discovered an abandoned house filled with more frozen figures. A dragon wearing real glasses appeared to watch them from high in the canopy.
Old house, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's a car.
All with them in.
Oh, there, man. Stop there. Yeah. What's the sign say?
Which sign?
There.
There.
Stop. The second best exotic COVID hotel. And there's the old car as well. So that is probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in some woods. I saw it. You see it? Go back again. What was it? Was it? Is that, I believe it's house?
Yes.
Can you touch? It's a bird's nest.
Is it?
Yeah.
The entire area felt silent, heavy, and strangely artificial, as though the woods had been arranged for somebody to discover. Then an engine suddenly roared nearby. A vehicle started moving down the narrow track toward them. Gary and Ameki hurried back through the darkness, nearly colliding with an electric fence, as they made their way toward the safety of their van.
Yeah, swap.
Swap. Like I said, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. Right then,
Yeah, it really
let's get out of here.
weird.
I think that car is coming down here. Whoa.
What did they do that for?
I've got no idea. They're absolutely nuts though. Back again. Mind the fence.
What are they doing?
Having a mad half an hour by the looks of it.
After the fear eased, they began discussing their route north toward Aberdeen. Gary talked about diesel cleaner, while Ameki dealt with a bout of hiccups. They chose to park near the beach and hoped the following morning would be peaceful. At the harbor, the strange atmosphere returned in a different form. A fisherman showed them a catch of red-eyed crabs and a large struggling lobster. Ameki held the animal briefly, feeling its weight before they continued on.
Wow, look at that. What's that guy got in there? Crabs. See his crabs? Let's go have a look. Oh, look at them all.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, and red eyes as well.
Red eyes.
Later, they organized the cluttered van and prepared to meet friends in Stonehaven. The forest filled with dolls was already behind them, but the feeling did not disappear so easily. Maybe it was only an unusual private display hidden off the track. Maybe somebody had placed those figures there for a reason. But when voices lead you to a forest full of staring faces, would you really want to know who put them there?
Do you know what? Building the smaller van was so much easier because we didn't have as much stuff. You know, like water tanks and showers and all that sort of stuff. And now we got all that stuff, it just seems to be never ending. Take your bottle. Oh, yeah, so this is where we parked.
This story begins with a simple overnight camping trip in the forest. Then a handmade doll appears in the darkness, the spirit box delivers unsettling responses, and the night quickly becomes unsafe. Exploring with Brad is a YouTube channel focused on adventure content and paranormal investigations across Ontario, Canada. Brad often explores locations associated with unusual activity. On May 23rd, 2026, he and his friend Braden went camping deep in the woods at a site known locally as Witch Rock, a place linked to stories of occult practices and black magic rituals. They arrived after dark, unaware of what might already be there.
Let's go check this out. We're gonna go and we're hoping to go camping at the Witch Rock area.
Great idea.
Yeah, Braden's always talking about this place. And I'm like, all right, well, we gotta go to Witch Rock. We gotta check it out. All right, guys, so we're gonna go check out this spot. Let's go.
As they climbed toward Witch Rock, Brad suddenly stopped. Something was hanging from the trees ahead. At first, he could not make out what it was. Then his flashlight landed on it, and both men froze.
Okay, be careful, dude. We just want to make sure that there's no homeless people or dangerous people here, so... Because, like, I don't want to find, like, some cult or something, or stumble upon anybody. What? What do you see? What do you see?
Do you not see that up ahead?
What the hell is that? What the friggin' hell is that? What the heck is that?
No.
It was a handmade doll, sewn together by hand, gently swaying in the darkness, even though there was no wind moving it.
That's a doll. It's moving, bro.
What? Dude, that is creepy. Okay, so we were just climbing up Witch Rock. We just found this right now. You saw it move? You think you saw it move?
It is moving. Look at it, it's swaying. That could be my vision, but like...
Yeah. I trust you on it.
There's something.
Just be careful, bro. Okay, so we just found this thing.
Don't look that thing in the eye.
Okay. Found it up on Witch Rock. I thought it was a person. I got scared. Like, I honestly thought that it was... I thought it was somebody hanging.
Don't look it in the eye.
No, I won't, dude. I won't. Oh my god.
Dolls have appeared in folklore and ritual traditions for centuries because they can represent the human form in a simple way. That is why a handmade figure in the woods feels different from an ordinary object. It seems intentionally placed, even when nobody knows who left it there. Brad and Braden sat beside the doll and used a spirit box asking for its name. The device produced a response that unsettled both of them. It appeared to say that it did not like them.
Okay, that is scary, bro. You still didn't give us your name.
Like directly, at least.
Yeah, like you never gave us your name. Can you give us your name?
I don't like you.
It just said, I don't like you. Why?
And they immediately glanced at each other. Before they could fully process it, another whisper came through. This time the message suggested that someone had been left alone. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then they both sensed the same thing at once. Something was moving directly behind them.
Why don't you like... Yo, I heard something back here. What's just going on here? You heard that too, right? That was scary. I don't like it. I don't know. I mean, it's your call. If you want to go back, we can go back.
We should go back.
Like, I'm freaked out, bro.
We really should get out of here.
Okay.
They had already spent several minutes investigating the doll with the spirit box, and the responses were disturbing enough. After that, both men moved away to explore the rest of the forest.
Dude. Did you hear running?
Yeah. A little kick. No.
Yo. Kind of freaked me out, dude.
Brother.
What?
But when they returned, the place where the doll had been was empty. The doll was gone. Neither of them had touched it. One moment, it had been there. The next, it had simply vanished.
It's gone.
Where's the doll?
It's gone.
Oh, you gotta be joking.
It literally got up and ran away.
Are you sure, dude? It's not...
Like, you know when you lose something at home, your mom's like, well, it couldn't have gotten up and run away. Huh.
Dude.
Broke right out.
Later, as they made their way back down from Witch Rock, something released a strange scream from the darkness directly toward them. When Brad aimed his flashlight in that direction, the same doll appeared to be standing there.
Dude. What? Oh, dude! What the hell was that? Oh, freak! Go! Let's go! Oh man! Be careful, Brandon. Oh, freak sakes! Oh man!
Both men ran and didn't stop until they reached the main trail. When they finally stopped to catch their breath, they could not agree on exactly what had come toward them, but they agreed on one thing: they were not going back.
What was that? Oh, was that it? Was that him? Oh, freak, I don't know. I'll have to roll it back. I'll roll back. Yeah, I saw like long arms. Oh, man. Oh, boy. We're getting out of here. All right, guys. We made it back to the main trail. We're going to head on out.
Screw it up, boy. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
Maybe someone had been moving through the forest and using the doll to frighten them. Maybe the location had more activity than they expected. But if an object disappears from one place and shows up again in your path, would you keep trying to explain it, or would you leave? On August 31st, 2025, Brent Underwood, creator of the YouTube channel Ghost Town Living, enters a working gold mine that first opened more than 125 years ago. His channel documents life, labor, and restoration inside abandoned towns and historic mining sites. This time, Brent works deep inside a high-elevation mine near the Canadian border, where access is limited, conditions are harsh, and mistakes come with lasting consequences.
All right, MSHA training out of the way. I am officially a miner, and so it is time to get to work. Jason, what we got going on?
Now that you're an official miner, we got 12 hours. We're gonna go underground to the gold vein. Today we're gonna drill it out, we're gonna blast it, and then we're gonna come back in, muck it into bags, and see how much ore we can get for the day.
Off ladder.
So this is the jack leg we're going to be using to drill this round out. This thing probably hasn't changed much in about 75 years. So this is kind of old technology, but it still works really well.
Before its invention, drilling holes for explosives was done by hand, with a hammer and a chisel. A miner would strike and twist a steel rod into the rock, slowly carving out each hole.
This drill weighs about 120 pounds. That's the point I'm trying to make there. The leg is 2 stages, and it's run by air. So the more air you give the leg will extend and push the drill into the bottom of the hole. And that's what makes it. It's not me sitting here pushing the drill in. It's all pneumatically powered.
The jack leg. It's a 100-pound pneumatic drill that vibrates so violently it shakes your entire body and the rock around you. That's why it's risky. You're not just drilling, you're destabilizing. All right, so we're about 2 hours into it. We got all the holes drilled. And Jason, how you feeling after that?
Oh man, it's always fun getting back on the jack leg, but it really takes it out of you. It's heavy, it's loud, it's just a beast to handle, but we got all 16 holes drilled in 2 hours. I'm pretty impressed with that. We did pretty good.
Inside the tunnel, Brent begins drilling directly into a quartz vein. The jackleg drill pushes back with constant force, demanding full control, as noise and vibration fill the confined space. He explains how earlier miners worked by hand, and how modern tools reduce days of labor into hours. As the drilling pattern is completed, the task feels less like progress and more like endurance. Every movement matters because the mind reacts instantly to pressure. What happens next depends entirely on precision in that moment.
Next step in the process is the explosives. We've got ammo, caps, some boosters, and a zero. We got to go load all the holes that we just drilled, set it up so they time just right so it all blasts out into our muck pile, and then we can make it all go boom. I love these though. 16 holes, correct?
All right, so about 4 hours in or so, and this is what the wall looks like. So that is going to blast out of here, hit that, go down, and that's what the gold will be.
So we've got everything hooked up. The last stage is to connect the battery, which ignites the zero and continues and shoots the whole round.
Oh, well, this is an exciting moment because we did the blast, and now we gotta go up and see the result of the blast and of all the ore.
Well, this is just about the worst case scenario. This is a chunk that was about halfway through our round and came from about 50 feet that way. Now we got a map.
So the first hazard you guys got to deal with is tripping hazards. The second is all of the spikes are unaccounted for. I don't know where they are. If you step on them, it's going to go through your foot. Hey, the GoPro's alive.
Hey!
My headlight's alive.
My camera is right around here.
What?
With the holes prepared, Brent helps load anapho explosives into the rock face. He understands the blast must break the vein cleanly without collapsing the tunnel. When the explosion goes off, the force travels farther than expected. Rock is thrown down the passage, damaging nearby equipment and filling the air with dust. The tunnel becomes unstable in seconds, showing how little control exists underground. The mine responds to effort with force that cannot be fully contained.
A lot of this will be cleanup. We were hoping to come in and just have easy to muck bags, you know, that way you can get this ore out of here, get the gold out. Now we got waste mixed in with ore. All right, so the waste rock mixed in with the ore, so what we're gonna be doing now is just picking up the ore when we can find it, throwing it in a bag. Next came the mucking, probably the most demanding part of mining. It means removing broken rock. In our case, it involved manpower, picking up rocks and moving them. Sometimes you're bagging high-grade ore, other times you're just moving junk, and sometimes you're separating the ore from the waste.
Right there at my fingertip.
Yeah, I see it.
It's gold. Here's a piece I just pulled out of the muck pile, and there's a nice little gold kind of wire sticking out there. There's gold speckle all across the top here. This is a nice piece.
All right, so in the end, we got 176 bags at about 25 pounds a piece, so about 4,400 pounds or 2¼ tons. And Jason, this stuff's running
about 1 ounce a ton.
So we're about 2 ounces today.
Yeah, a little over 2 ounces.
After the blast, Brent moves into mucking the most physically demanding stage. He shovels broken rock separates ore from waste and fills heavy bags one by one. Dust lingers in the tunnel as exhaustion builds. In the fractured quartz, Brent notices visible gold embedded in the rock, confirming the vein still carries value. By the end of the shift, the crew stacks 176 bags, nearly 2 tons of material estimated to contain around 2 ounces of gold. Back at camp, the result feels earned, but the cost is hard to ignore. There's gold here, but extracting it demands more than strength. Many viewers praised the skill and the outcome, while others pointed to quieter dangers, dust exposure fatigue, and how quickly control can be lost underground. If a mine still holds real gold after more than a century, why are so few willing to stay and keep digging? On December 16th, 2025, Jasko, creator of the YouTube channel Jasko Camps, overnight in Devil's Forest during a snowstorm. His channel focuses on haunted locations and risky nighttime explorations. Joined by Chandler on his first camping trip, he enters a forest known for disappearances, violent history, and an old cemetery with temperatures dropping below zero.
Tonight, we're going to be camping inside of one of the world's most haunted forests. Let me tell you a little bit about this forest. So, there was a man by the name of Bernard Hatch who used to tie his victims to the end of his truck, drag them up dirt roads all throughout this forest, and then dismember their bodies all throughout. But not only that, there was a doctor, Dr. Stu Ben, who used to perform crazy experiments on his patients, and if he messed up, he genuinely just killed them. It is rumored that he buried them in a cemetery deep in this forest under fake names so no one would question it. Then there's also a lake where it was believed that the mafia dumped bodies into it. Now, apart from that, it is also believed that this forest is haunted by this white-faced shadow figure. Apparently, if you were to come face to face with this thing, it scars you for the rest of your life. There was also a chair in this forest, like a stone chair. And it was believed that if you sat in this chair, it would bring you bad luck. After a high school party, a girl came here with all her friends and she sat in that chair. 24 hours later, she died in a car crash. And yeah, let's show you guys around a little bit. The snow is deep, guys. I mean, look at this, ready? And luckily we have this truck, genuinely made for off-roading and stuff like that. And I will say, I don't know how much we're gonna be pushing it with this thing. We're probably gonna be doing a lot of traversing, a lot of walking. So yeah. What the hell was that? That was behind our tent.
Literally. Someone was like by the tent for a minute.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I have it ready. My
What is
spirit
it?
box. Is there anyone here at our campsite right now? I couldn't get my van here, so this is the second best thing, I suppose.
Accidental.
Accidental?
Are we talking about the death that happened to you? What actually happened to you? Can you share that with us? But what was that noise, bro?
I don't know.
Hello? Oh my God, listen to that echo.
I know.
Hello?
Gosh.
Oh, what was that? That was a voice.
How far back does this forest go?
Miles. Like miles and miles and miles. Man.
Holy, bro. Sounds like a little footstep over there. That sounds so weird because it's outside in the snow, but like I heard,
yeah,
it sounded like a crunch, like.
Okay. All right, guys, so we were just walking and we noticed over there's a sign that leads to a trail. Now, we have no idea where this one leads to. However, we were just filming for Chandler's channel and we experienced something so damn terrifying. We didn't go the right way, by the way.
Oh shit, wait.
Yeah, we're supposed to go down the trail.
Yeah, oh my God.
What the fuck?
What was that?
Chandler, that was a laugh.
Yeah.
As they move deeper into the snow-covered woods, the atmosphere shifts quickly. Jasko hears distant sounds echoing through the trees' voices that do not belong to either of them. Moments later, a sudden laugh cuts through the silence from behind. Chandler reacts right away, turning and scanning the darkness. The forest responds before anything can be seen.
Chandler?
What?
I was walking, I just kept like, something was like moving with me under the snow.
Oh, what the heck?
I mean, bro, they're dirty. I mean, you take a look at them.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just ditched here a while back. Clearly,
They had to have been a long time ago, like.
If there's anybody here with us that wants to communicate, can you let us know if you were someone who died here, a victim? Were you someone who went missing here? Was your body ever found? Please use your energy into my device here. It's so like eerily quiet.
Yeah.
So when you do hear something,
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
something's here. What the hell is that? Okay, this is actually freaking me out right now. Wait a second.
Huh?
I just heard a voice. I just heard a voice. It wasn't yours?
Nope. Wasn't talking.
Someone was here. You see these tracks?
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago, but someone was here. Hello!
Okay. All right.
Oh
All right.
my God. Okay, we are not alone out here. Yeah, let's start heading back.
Cool. What?
Oh, it's hard as shit.
Oh my God.
It's a hoodie, bro.
Who's taking their hoodie off in the middle of winter?
Well, we've seen tracks here. Chandler, people go missing in this forest. We just came across some personal belongings here.
Shit, hey, wait, you're right.
Along the trail, they come across abandoned items frozen into the snow. First, a pair of old boots sits half buried. Later, they find a hoodie from New Hampshire stiff with ice. The items don't look recently dropped. In a forest tied to missing persons, the discoveries feel intentional rather than random. The ground seems to carry traces of those who never returned.
I don't think we should fuck with this.
No.
This is like really giving me bad vibes.
Yeah.
Can you give us a sign to let us know you're here? Whoa! Oh shit!
Dude, wait, did you see that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, remember rules.
Yes. That was like a tree knock.
Let's see.
From where? I hate the woods, bro. It's so echoey out here.
Spears, if there's someone here, can you replicate this noise for me?
Okay, bro. Like where? From freaking where?
It's just like the echo. God knows where it's coming from.
As night gets deeper, a sharp whistling sound moves through the forest. Jasko immediately recognizes it. Local warnings say never whistle in the woods. Chandler becomes visibly tense as the sound fades into the trees without a clear source. Some rules exist because someone already learned what happens when they are broken.
Chandler.
What?
They're glow sticks.
What?
Glow sticks.
What
Dude,
the
they've
heck?
been here for a while. If they're like basically underneath the snow. There's one right there as well. Bro, this one's underneath.
Wait, there's no way that those were there.
They weren't. We would have seen it before we even put the tent up. It was in front of the tent. We gotta make sure.
Hello? Wait, there could be someone in there.
Okay, so Chandler.
Yeah. Like what?
When we were here earlier, I said to you that if anyone else came out here apart from us, it would genuinely be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, one, the weather,
Yeah.
two, the driving conditions, but then we've seen footprints, recent footprints.
Yep.
So who would be out here and why? Well, someone clearly knows that we're here, obviously. That's a given. Okay, so guys, you can see it. Police just showed up. So apparently, they got some calls about a lot of weird shit going on in the forest. We just spoke to them a little bit, kind of just cleared up. We have nothing to do with whatever's going on. They really didn't want to tap too much into it. We showed them on our phone like some timestamps we have, like when we first got here, some text messages we sent, and they were like, okay, cool. I thought they were coming back.
Yeah.
But we kind of just cleared everything up, made sure that we were okay. And they were also saying that they don't think it's a good idea to spend the night here.
Yeah.
When they return to camp, glow sticks are suddenly placed around the tent. Neither of them set them there. Shortly after police arrive and warn them about unusual activity in the area, advising them not to remain overnight. Despite the warning, Jasko chooses to stay. From this point on, they are no longer alone in the forest.
Chandler, that was a fucking gunshot. That was a gunshot.
What was?
Chandler, that was a gunshot.
What do you mean? What the? Turn off. Yeah. Turn it off.
I'm trying. Is it the wind?
How the? Yes.
Wait, hold on. Shh. Wait. What is going on right now, Chandler?
Wait, what the? Is that a car? Was that seriously a gunshot?
That was a gunshot, 100%. 100%.
You're lying. Shh. Do it quiet.
Oh.
Dude, what was that?
Oh! Chandler, there's another gunshot. We have to go. We have to go now.
While trying to sleep, strange noises return. Then 2 gunshots echo nearby. The sound removes any remaining doubt. Jasko and Chandler pack up immediately and leave the campsite in darkness, choosing safety over answers. They don't stay to find out who fired the shots or why. Many viewers focused on human presence mark camp's distant voices lights and police warnings rather than paranormal explanations. If someone marked the campsite in the dark, were they planning to return once everyone was asleep? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.